For a long time, if you were an incumbent, elected politician, especially in the House, you could expect to go many cycles necessarily without having a challenger. Sometimes in the general, but certainly in the primary season. Not so in this cycle, where more and more Democrats, including those fairly highly placed in the party, are finding themselves facing serious challenges. And Representative Nadler in New York's 10th district, he's the latest. And we've got his challenger joining us on the show now, Jonathan Herzog. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. We're going to talk about Nadler in just a little bit. I want to start off with your platform. You've got some information about some of the more fleshed out portions of your platform available, including the Freedom Dividend, Medicare for All, and democracy dollars. Can you give our audience an idea of why you've prioritized these policies, what they mean to you?
Absolutely. So the general idea is that we're going through a fundamental economic and technological shift, where even in New York's 10th district, in the world's financial capital, in the richest, most advanced society in our history, no one should be too poor to meet their basic needs. And right now, 16% of people live in poverty. And this is as 20% of our storefronts are closing and more jobs are being automated away. So that's why I'm running, and that's why I'm running on these policies to help move our society, and especially in the 10th district, forward.
And I believe this is your first run for office, correct?
That's right.
And so you had been working as a staffer for presidential candidate Andrew Yang when you decided to leave to launch this bid. What is it about this particular district, this particular incumbent, that made you feel like you needed to go now? In this case, this would be the race for you.
For sure. Well, it's just home for me. And the reason I moved back home and announced the run was I had moved out to Iowa to help build and organize Andrew Yang's campaign out there. And the Yang Gang caught fire and became a national movement. And he's now a top 6 presidential candidate. So the question just came up over and over, well, how do we get the Humanity First platform and the Freedom Dividend through Congress? And the answer became, well, we got to run it ourselves to make it happen.
Okay, and Representative Nadler, he's been in Congress since back in 1992. This district for 6 years. Tell me about him as an incumbent. What is it about him in that position that you felt wasn't doing the job?
Sure. Well, again, it wasn't so much about him, but just the reality on the ground for tens of thousands of New Yorkers. The fact that 1 in 6 people in 2019 is living in poverty. The fact that tens of thousands of working class jobs are being automated away, where if you walk into a McDonald's in the 10th district, you're going to see wall-to-wall automated iPads, whether that be a CVS or any retail establishment around the city. Yeah. So it's the fundamental reality of life changing on the ground and leaving people behind.
So we care a lot at this network about campaign finance, and you can't avoid the fact that for Nadler, less than 10% of his funding comes from small individual donations. What is your philosophy for fundraising for your race?
Yes, the philosophy is very, very simple, which is that people matter more than money. And as you allude to, one of the key tenets of my run is democracy dollars, which is a fundamental reform of our campaign finance system to publicly finance our elections and put actually 100 democracy dollars in the hands of every New Yorker and every American to say once and for all that people matter more than money in our elections.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.